dial star 811 star 397 hash. Star 811 star 397 hash.
The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, NCIK, was established to coordinate a multi-sectoral response to the growing cancer burden through coordination of services provided in Kenya for the welfare and treatment of persons with cancer, coordination of cancer research, recommending measures to prevent discrimination against persons with cancer, educating the public on the rights of persons with cancer. All of us have a role to play in cancer prevention and control by accessing screening and diagnostic services in our referral hospitals. Let us join hands towards a cancer-free nation. The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, leading the cancer response in the country.
Nairobi Railway City is an iconic multimodal urban development planned on the 425-acre space between Uhuru Highway to the south, Landis Road to the north, Bunyala Road in the east, and Haile Selassie Avenue in the west.
Tunaikaribisha na roho mzuri na nia mzuri, sababu tunajua kwamba itakuwa na msaada kubwa sana.
The ultra-modern city within a city, designed to align with the Nairobi Integrated Urban Master Plan, NIU, the Nairobi Transport Master Plan, and the Nairobi Commuter Railway Master Plan, will decongest and modernize the CBD. It will serve as a transport hub for the city, including non-motorized transport, public transport, and railway transport.
I think it's a great initiative. It's going to be very convenient for the passengers who are traveling.
The construction of Phase 1 and 2 will create 5,000 jobs and a further 5,000 jobs after completion.
Itakuwa inasaidia mwananchi mwingine ambaye anatafuta kazi.
It will also create numerous opportunities for micro and medium enterprises, MSMEs, to carry out trade within the newly established retail and commercial spaces in the public and non-motorized transport corridors. It was made possible through the partnership of the UK government and the Kenyan government. The Nairobi Railway City, ultra-modern, truly Kenyan in design, an idea whose time has come.
Kwa tunaomba kwa hiyo mradi mnaleta, mtukumbuke na mtutafutie hadi kama ni nafasi kiasi ya kufanya kazi.
At the Kenya Railway Corporation, we are right on track.
The sun sets on Jamhuri Day, this 12th of December, the year of the Lord 2022. President William Ruto announcing fertilizer subsidies programs to be dispensed online on what he refers to as the e-voucher, plus much, much more coming up. Good evening. My name is Mboya. Top in this broadcast.
The search for solutions. President William Ruto's plan on cost of living. All hail Nelly Cheboy, Kenyan philanthropist named the CNN Hero of the Year. We will tell you why.
In our Football Vision 2030, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations.
Plus, going for the jugular. Kenyan set to make a bid to host the African Cup of Nations in 2027.
Thank you very much for joining us. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Lensa Odingo. Our socials at KBC Channel 1, my Twitter handle at Mboya24. President William Ruto says that his administration is pursuing a three-front approach to bring down the cost of living. Speaking during the 59th Jamhuri Day national celebrations held at the Nyayo National Stadium earlier today, the head of state said that among the interventions in lowering the cost of fertilizers for farmers for increased food production, providing affordable credit through the Hustler Fund, and also liberating the agricultural sector. And as Ben Chumba reports, President William Ruto also announced plans, by the way, to transfer 85% of the remaining government services to the digital space. And the reasons he gave was to ensure easy access to government services to all Kenyans around all the four corners of the country. Here is that report.
During the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations held at the Nyayo National Stadium, Nairobi, President William Ruto detailed achievements and progress made by his administration in the 100 days he has been in office.
Our first agenda when we came into office is to ensure that we encourage farmers to access affordable fertilizer. And that is why we reduced fertilizer from 7,000 shillings to 3,500.
In response to food insecurity and high cost of living, the head of state said the government will import 10 million bags of assorted food and avail to farmers 6 million bags of fertilizer at 3,000 shillings a bag.
Our second agenda, and I have said this, is that we are going to import 10 million bags of different assorted types of food, including maize, so that we can close the gap temporarily because of the harvest that was limited in this year's agricultural season occasioned by climate change.
This year's Jamhuri Day celebration theme revolved around technology and innovation, with President Ruto outlining plans by the government to provide necessary infrastructure to enable internet access in every part of the country.
We have decided that we are going to have a 100,000 kilometer superhighway that is going to be built to enable internet access our homes, our cities, our towns, and every part of the Republic of Kenya, because that is how we are going to be delivering government services going into the future.
The head of state further announced the government plans to transfer 80% of its services to the digital space to ensure easy access of government services.
Every Kenyan, wherever they are, they do not have to get into any bus to go to get government services or queue in any line to access government services. It will now be possible in 6 months, when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services.
On the welfare of police officers, the president promised to unveil a task force before end of year to review their terms and conditions.
I commend the entire National Police Service, from the constable on the beat to the Inspector General, for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced the changes and enhanced our general security through increased vigilance and improved relationship with citizens.
Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
And that is what happened earlier today. Moving on, Kenya seeks to plant 15 billion trees on 11 million hectares of land by the year 2030. President William Ruto says that the move is aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change and will be implemented by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry in collaboration with the county governments and also other relevant stakeholders. The government is also seeking to recruit at least 11,000 young people to grow about 1.5 million trees right here in Nairobi's open as well as public spaces as part of the greening of the capital city project. Here is that report.
Wapi makofi ya rais moja. At the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations, President William Ruto announced an ambitious tree planting initiative that will be spearheaded by the national government and cascade down to the devolved units.
Provincial Administration Pyramid, the Nyumba Kumi leaders, 45,000 of them coming to the 9,000 assistant chiefs and 4,000 chiefs to ensure that we build from the bottom going up our tree planting exercise to ensure that we reach the 15 billion trees planted across the country.
Also envisioned is an afforestation campaign in Nairobi with the view of turning the city in the sun to a green capital city.
We are going to hire 11,000 young people to create the army that will green our city, those that were working under the old program of Kazi Mtaani. I want to ask other governors in other parts of Kenya to join us in this exercise of tree planting because it is an exercise of our moment to manage the effects of climate change.
At grassroots level, chiefs have been directed to dedicate one day of the week as a public baraza cum tree planting exercise day. The idea is to encourage members of the public to plant at least 3,000 trees weekly. Free seedlings will be provided to the public through local administration, schools and other public institutions by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. Yusuf Far reporting for Prime Edition.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said that the Kenya Kwanza leadership is the right administration to liberate Kenyans. He made those remarks during the 59th Jamhuri Day national celebrations. Gachagua said the Kenya Kwanza leadership is what Kenya requires in the 21st century as the country moves closer to achieving its Vision 2030. Beatrice Gatonye reports.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said while a reflection of the country's past is important, a deeper look into the future reveals a great life ahead.
I have had no greater hope than I have today. As we build on the progress we have made over the years, Kenya is ready for a great takeoff under the Kenya Kwanza plan under your leadership.
Gachagua said that leveraging on technology will be a tool that will liberate the nation.
This course is indomitable. This is a path to an equal Kenya, where every child goes to school, every Kenyan has food on the table, where every Kenyan has access to quality and universal health care, where every Kenyan has clean and safe drinking water. We are leaving no one behind in this race.
He called on the youth to move with speed and explore opportunities in the tech space.
Today, Kenya has made a considerable progress in the tech race. We celebrate our young people who have continued to make us proud in this space.
This as Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja thanked President William Ruto for supporting restoration of the capital city.
And as we continue the work that was started by those who've been there before us, we must ensure that we live true to their dream of a country self-governed and not a country that goes into disorder and anarchy. And I want to thank you and the national government for supporting the Nairobi County government in restoring order in Nairobi.
Sakaja noted that Nairobi is the Silicon Savannah of Africa.
This country may not be endowed as much as others in terms of gold and minerals and oil. Our greatest asset is our people. Our greatest asset is not below the ground. Our greatest asset is above the ground. It is our young people.
He further commended President Ruto for commissioning the Nairobi River Commission, which he said will help clean up the city. Beatrice Gatonye, Prime Edition.
The Kenyans who attended Jamhuri Day celebrations have hailed the launched Hustler Fund initiative, noting the quick access to the funds. Kenyans now want government to ensure that implementation of other technology-related initiatives, as well as other efficient funding for innovative ideas are put in place. Let's listen into that report.
Kenyans have hailed the government for acknowledging technology being embraced across the globe as a solution to problems of today.
I'm extremely excited about the leadership and how they've put to task, everyone who is involved in the technology space to take more action. And they themselves are leading by example by all the opportunities that they provided to us. So I'm really looking forward to the next few years of providing opportunities for young people through digital entrepreneurship and also seeing where we can go, how we can leapfrog to the next century of providing as many opportunities as possible when it comes to employment and also other areas.
Ombi langu kwa serikali ni ku-involve youths because opportunity are internet based, so there are many youths wenye wana lack job na tuko internet, tuko na ideas, tumelearn, so as they create more opportunities na omba serikali wazi avail kwa youth sana.
Those who attended the 59 Jamhuri Day celebrations that was anchored on technology say the nation is on the right direction, many singling out the Hustlers Fund, which they termed a game changer in fintech revolution.
Hustler Fund pia bado iko sawa, ni yani kijana akichukua fund yake akueni mtu mwaminifu alafu na itatizaka yeye.
Nimeaccess leo asubuhi na nipoa by the way like ukiwa stuck in something like inaweza kuokolea hivyo okay like as much as you'll pay it back. I'm so like it's good.
About Hustler Fund, mimi mwenyewe nimechukua loan mara 2 nimelipa na personally I'm positive about it. So Hustler Fund kama wewe utaichukulia positively, of course itakuwa positive on your side.
Some dispelling the political notion in the funds.
But ukipoliticize uanze kusema sijui pesa ni kidogo, umepatiwa 500, umepatiwa 900, it's not going to help you.
According to the president, the initiative already has 15.4 million subscribers, with 7.54 billion shillings having been borrowed within 12 days, 400 million shilling savings, with 1.2 billion shillings having been repaid.
And it is clear that two things have come around because of what you have seen on the Hustler Fund. Number one, it has provided a platform for millions of Kenyans who have been looking for an opportunity to save. And number two, the Kenyans borrowing on this platform, they have not been derailed by the rhetoric of those who are against the Hustler Fund.
In regards to the current state of economy in the country, Kenyans now look forward to the bounty promises made by the president to help enhance their ambitions. Serafina Robi from Nyayo Stadium.
Very well. The entertainment at Nyayo Stadium was orderly, very smooth transitions, and a lot of people saying that the creative industry was at its best. Trooping of colors coming up after this short break.
Feel the excitement. Relish every moment. Get 1.5 GB at 50 bob. Valid for 3 hours. Furahia Futa. Dial *544 hash. Make Chaguo smarter na Airtel, the most affordable network.
Cheza loto, shinda pesa moto. Nilikuwa najaribu tu nione. So jana venye nilipigiwa simu, ndio nilijua kweli loto moto ni ya ukweli. Nilitumia paybill 757070 account loto star alafu nambari ya simu. Kwa siku nilikuwa nacheza karibu mara 8 hivi. Natumia shilingi karibu 300. Jana ndio nimecheza zaidi usiku. Niliambia Mungu asante sana kwa sababu amenitoa kwa shida 1 2 3. Hiyo pesa kitu ya kwanza ni kumtolea Mungu shukrani fungu la 10 nifanye 1 2 3 kwa nyumba yangu. Loto moto ni ya ukweli. Ukiwa na nafasi, ukiwa na pesa, cheza loto moto, ni ya ukweli anytime. Naamini tena mtarudi hapa tu. Asante.
Shinda pesa moto moto.
Chuma ya dosi ni chuma ya nguvu. Ikisimama kwa building, hakuna kitu baya ita happen kwa hiyo building.
Chuma ndio nyumba. Nyumba zetu zote tunatumianga chuma ya dosi.
Doshi Steel, chuma ya nguvu. Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And you have everything you need to believe.
Cross coming on the left foot. With that height. Oh, it's gone into the net. It has. Youssef El-Nesri using his height to advantage here. A ball that looked like a loose ball in that box. It started in the midfield. But now he's involved in it. And then a left foot cross from the left side. And then there is one defender trying to go for it as well, but that height of Youssef El-Nesri has the littlest of nicest of touches, glancing downwards, that beats the goalkeeper and beats the defender. It goes into the net, Jacob.
Well, he outjumped David Costa in that Portuguese goal, and that's a beautiful goal for sure. Ronaldo cannot believe it on the bench there.
Talk. Get your brand on the talk with City Clock.
Welcome back to KBC, our socials at KBC Channel 1. My Twitter handle at Mboya24. President William Ruto Monday presided over the first Trooping of Colour ceremony mounted by the 23rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion since becoming the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces in September. The event was organized by the battalion currently located in Karare, that's in Marsabit County, and the exercise enables the unit to enjoy enhanced capability support like armored infantry fighting vehicles. Let's watch that report.
President William Ruto Monday presided of his maiden Trooping of Colours ceremony mounted by the Marsabit Best 23rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion. The head of state received presidential and regimental colours flags from the battalion, followed by prayers dedicated to the unit for its commitment to protecting the sovereignty of this nation.
Through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
The unit was established in 2017 but became fully operational in 2018 and has continued to grow in personnel, skills and operational capacity over time. The colours are the highest honour for any regiment or unit and something that is treasured as any formation is disbandment if it loses the colours.
Well, it was fun-filled celebrations as President William Ruto led Kenyans in marking the 59th Jamhuri Day commemoration. The celebration, premised on technology, was powered by entertainment galore from the military bands to captivating chorals both by the young as well as the old, all in the spirit of nationhood.
They came in all genders, male and female, young and elderly. Kenyans of all walks flocked Nyayo National Stadium to mark the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations. Security was at its best as police officers positioned themselves at vantage positions to provide guidance to those attending the fete. With the gates opening as early as 6 a.m. to allow public access, those who made their way here were subjected to a full-body security search. Unlike other celebrations, this year's celebrations were marked under the theme Connect, Innovate and Inspire. This youth group from Ngong had the opportunity to showcase their innovation of seeds made from plastic bottles. They wish to potential donors.
Kuliko zibaki zikichafua environment ama zikuwe zikiharibu mazingira yetu, ni ubunifu mpya kwa wakati kama huu. Tukaamua kukuja na kitu kama hii yenye inaweza rudishwa kwa environment zetu kama za shule, za viwanja zetu. Support ya serikali, at least tuweke point mali tunaweza pata hii material.
The seats inside were donned Kenyan flag colors both for the public and the dignitaries. The entertainment inside captivating and thrilling. Kenyans treated to tunes by military bands, patriotic songs and exhilarating plays, all a reminder of how far as a country we've come to mark. A colorful event whose speeches and entertainment revolved around technology and innovation. 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations. Reporting from Nyayo National Stadium for Prime Edition, my name is Zainab Said.
Creative industry, as I said, at its best. Now, moving on, Mombasa County Commissioner John Otieno has assured revelers visiting the coastal city of their security as well as safety as the festive season sets in. Speaking during the Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Mama Ngina waterfront in Mombasa County, Otieno said that it is the responsibility of everyone to ensure that there is law and order. Meanwhile, in Garissa, Governor Nathif Jama and the County Commissioner Boaz Cherutich has promised to hold a joint meeting with their Tana River counterparts to find a lasting solution to that cross-border conflict between the pastoralists on one end and the farmers on the other.
Entertainment filled the air as residents of Mombasa celebrated Jamhuri Day at the Mama Ngina waterfront. And even as the festive season draws closer, holidaymakers have continued to trickle into the coastal city for much-needed relaxation along the sandy beaches. Mombasa County Commissioner John Otieno has assured everyone visiting the city of their security.
Tunaelekea kwa sherehe hizi na kiale police officers yale wamewekwa katika kila kona kuhakikisha ya kwamba kuna usalama ya kutosha.
Nimetoa amri kutakuwa na patrol boats ambazo zitakuwa zinazunguka katika fuo zetu za bahari pia vile.
Elsewhere in Mumbini Market in Mwingi Central Sub-County, the police commander Peter Mutuma warned parents against settling criminal cases like defilement in kangaroo courts and instead urged them to report the cases to the authorities for action.
Maneno kusema department yo wakina mama semeni hakuna mkatae. Sawa? Ya mkatae hiyo. Unless kama nyinyi wenyewe mnakubali. Lakini hiyo case msiseme ati hiyo mmalize nyumbani. Kama mwanaume amekosea namna hiyo. Hiyo ni sheria. Tuko na yeye.
Meanwhile, at Masalani Town in Garissa County, where the Jamhuri celebrations were held, Governor Nathif Jama and the County Commissioner Boaz Cherutich have promised to hold a joint meeting with their Tana River counterparts in a bid to find a lasting solution to the border conflicts by pastoralists and farmers from both sides.
So, hiyo ni maneno ambayo tutaangalia vizuri na wao, na pia tukishirikiana na Interior, Minister of Interior, ili tuhakikishe kwamba hakutatokea any kind of trouble between us and the neighboring county of Tana River.
For Prime Edition, I am Anburu.
Now, calls to curb drug and substance abuse characterized Jamhuri Day celebrations in different parts of the Rift Valley, Central, as well as Northern Kenya regions. Leaders urging security agencies to be vigilant and spearhead the crackdown on illicit brew traders as well as drug peddlers. Jacqueline Masharia puts that story into perspective.
We start in Bomet County, where Governor Professor Hilary Baruchok decried cases of drugs abuse among the youths, calling for concerted efforts to fight the menace. Speaking during Jamhuri Day celebrations in Siongoroi Stadium, Professor Baruchok said the county government is in the process of completing a rehabilitation center in Koiwa.
We want to rehabilitate power.
It was the message in Kiambu County, where Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi said he will not be deterred by cartels behind illicit brew and hard drugs trade that affects a big percentage of the youths.
Nasema wale watu wamefikiria kwamba biashara yao itanawiri wakati wanaharibu maisha ya watoto wenye wamezaliwa Kiambu, watafute mahali pengine.
Karibuni sana, karibuni sana.
Elsewhere in Kericho, County Commissioner Kamau Karungo highlighted Kapsoit Trading Center along Kericho-Kisumu Highway as the leading consumer of illicit brew in Kericho County. Speaking at Sociot Grounds in Belgut Sub-County, Karungo said the county security team is determined to wipe out the illicit brew menace across the county.
Tunatangazia hatari watu wa Kapsoit. Hapa ndio mambo iko Kapsoit. Na mahali ingine inaitwa Chemioka. Na hii pombe tunaambiwa wanakunywa si pombe. Si pombe.
This as Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi directed security agencies in the region to scale up surveillance and take the lead in curbing the spread of drug and substance abuse.
Nataka tusaidiane, tushirikiane kukomisha the sale and transportation and distribution of these drugs within this county.
In Kirinyaga County, Governor Anne Waiguru has accused bar owners of defaulting to pay 100 million shillings county revenue, saying the amount has not been remitted the amount for 3 years. Waiguru further called upon security agents to ensure there is a crackdown on all bars that are around homes and schools in the county.
Tunaomba walipe na tutaanza kuanzia wiki hii kuzunguka wale ambao hawana license watatusamehe kwa sababu tutawafungia biashara zao.
And Uasin Gishu County Governor Jonathan B has faulted ward administrators for failing to perform their duties effectively. He spoke during Jamhuri Day celebrations at Kapsoya Secondary School grounds, where County Commissioner Dr. Edison Nyale decried the low turnout of residents.
We do not want to witness such very low turn-up from the member of the public in Uasin Gishu, the account of His Excellency the President, vile mulivyo, hii Bugani.
Finally, in Embu County, the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations saw a couple being honored as champions in kangaroo care for taking care of their preterm baby born at the Embu Teaching and Referral Hospital. Leaders present decried an increase of illicit brew consumption and female genital mutilation in Embu North Sub-County. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
Now, calls for elected leaders from Nyanza and Western Kenya regions to work closely with the national government dominated celebrations to mark Jamhuri Day in the western part of the country. As Wycliffe Okech reports, leaders have been challenged to foster unity for the purposes of economic growth in line with the country's development aspirations.
Jamhuri Day has been marked in the Nyanza and Western regions amid calls for political tolerance and diversity for the sake of the country's unity and economic growth.
Hakuna mtu aweza kuwa kiongozi na afanye kazi yake peke yake bila kuhusisha wengine. Sharing of information, very critical. Identifying opportunities among our youth is very critical because our youth are our hope, our safety in future.
Kwenye kazi tuletee watu wetu maendeleo. So when you see us speaking together, don't think that kuna mtu amechukuliwa. My party leader is still Raila Amolo Odinga. But now Ruto is the president. Na mimi lazima niletee watu wa Busia vitu. So don't misinterpret these things.
In Kisii County, Governor Simba Arati downplayed claims of his dalliance with the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Najua akili ni nywele na kila mtu anazaki. Mimi nahitaji maendeleo kwa watu wangu, wale ambao walinipigia kura, wale wako nipigia. Ndio sababu hata ukiona rais mwenyewe, wengine tu kwa tunasopoti yeye, lakini tumeundua kwamba hakuna roho safi, anataka maendeleo. Nijivute kando kweli? Hapana.
In Bungoma County, Governor Ken Lusaka said his administration is committed to the creation of employment opportunities and double down on trade in illicit goods.
Tulipitisha hiyo bill mimi nikiwa governor wa kwanza. Ile imebaki ni regulations. Hata tumezungumzia leo, tumekuwa na cabinet kwamba tunataka tuharakishe mambo ya regulations ili hiyo bill iwe implemented.
I wish to reiterate once more that my government is and will be zero tolerance to corruption, and that will not hesitate to dismiss any person found culpable of corruption.
The celebrations also provided a platform for leaders to assure Kenyans of their security this festive season. For Prime Edition, I am Wycliffe Okech.
All right. Now, President William Ruto has assented to the county government's Additional Allocation Bill 2022. Now, the bill provides a legal framework for the release of additional funding from the national government, proceeds of loans, as well as development partners to all the 47 counties in the country in this current financial year. The bill, which was sponsored by Mandera Senator Ali Ibrahim Roba, provides the legal framework for the allocation of additional revenues as I indicated to those counties. Now, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader Raila Amolo Odinga skipped the 59th Jamhuri Day national celebrations at the Nyayo National Stadium to attend the first ever United States Africa Leaders Summit scheduled to take place in Washington, D.C. between the December 13th and 15th. His presence was, however, felt on the digital space as the opposition leader went on to weigh in on the Building Bridges initiative, which he says formed part of President William Ruto's memorandum. Raila had planned a rally at the Jacaranda grounds, you remember, here in the capital city of Nairobi, to run parallel to the Jamhuri Day celebrations, but cancelled the event just days to the feet.
President William Ruto led the nation in marking 59 years of independence at the Nyayo National Stadium. The same day would have seen the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition hold a parallel rally at the Jacaranda grounds, but the event was cancelled. Azimio leader Raila Odinga said he had received in his capacity as African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development an invitation to participate in the regional body's first ever United States Africa Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. Raila, however, took to Twitter to share his sentiments on the Kenya Kwanza administration, which is 3 months old. The former Prime Minister faulted the head of state's memorandum for having proposals contained in the Building Bridges Initiative report that was rejected by the Supreme Court. In the Twitter thread, Red Raila observed that President William Ruto's memorandum does not recognize the fact that BBI reports, which are official government documents, contain all proposals coupled with the rationale on why he had been deemed necessary by the people of Kenya. The opposition leader went on to fault the president for appropriating the views of the people. In the tweet, Raila said the head of state must comply with the same demands he had made during the BBI. One, that a president cannot initiate constitutional amendments. The amendments must start with the people. That the process of amendment must be people-driven, and four, the amendments must chiefly center on the interests of the common man. The opposition has been accusing the Kenya Kwanza administration of breaking campaign promises and had announced intentions to hold nationwide rallies aimed at holding the government accountable to the people of Kenya. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition.
The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, NCIK, was established to coordinate a multi-sectoral response to the growing cancer burden through coordination of services provided in Kenya for the welfare and treatment of persons with cancer, coordination of cancer research, recommending measures to prevent discrimination against persons with cancer, educating the public on the rights of persons with cancer. All of us have a role to play in cancer prevention and control by accessing screening and diagnostic services in our referral hospitals. Let us join hands towards a cancer-free nation. The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, leading the cancer response in the country.
Do you know you stand the risk of disconnection if you have not updated your SIM registration details? Dial *106# to check your SIM registration status. If your details are not updated, dial *106# and select option 2 to get the self-update link. You will be required to upload your original ID image copy, both front and back. Alternatively, you can visit the nearest Airtel outlet. Remember, you only have until December 15th, 2022 to comply. This is a SIM regulation requirement as per the Communications Authority of Kenya. Airtel, the most affordable network.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
Welcome back. Now, Kenyan Nelly Cheboi is the 2022 CNN Hero of the Year. Nelly, who in 2019 quit a lucrative software engineering job in Chicago to create computer labs for Kenyan school children, emerged as the winner. 10 other nominees were also there. Her non-profit organization, TechLit Africa, has provided thousands of students across rural Kenya with access to donated, upcycled computers and the chance to a brighter future. President William Ruto led Kenyans in congratulating the 29-year-old for their feat. What an award-winning moment.
Nelly Cheboi.
Nelly Cheboi's non-profit TechLit Africa has provided thousands of students across rural Kenya with access to donated upcycled computers and the chance at a brighter future. Cheboi accepted the award with her mother, who she said worked really hard to educate them.
My dear mom only made it to 6th grade. She can barely read and write. She has 4 daughters and she worked really hard to educate us. So she would slave away. She'd work really hard by the roadside. She was by the roadside for 4 decades.
As CNN Hero of the Year, Cheboi will receive $100,000 to expand her work. Nelly Cheboi and the other top 10 CNN heroes honored on Sunday's gala all receive a $10,000 cash award, and for the first time, additional grants, organizational training, and support from the Elevate Prize Foundation through a new collaboration with CNN Heroes.
The hero who received the most votes will be awarded an additional $100,000 to continue their life-changing work. And this year, thanks to our collaboration with the Elevate Prize Foundation, whose mission is to make good famous and ignite a global movement for change, the CNN Hero of the Year will also receive a significant unrestricted grant.
And all 10 honorees will receive critical nonprofit training and ongoing support and additional funding.
Nelly will also be named an Elevate Prize winner, which comes with a $300,000 grant and additional support worth $200,000 for her non-profit. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
Welcome back. I'm standing, or better still, sitting in for the sports news anchor. Kenya is set to bid to host the African Cup of Nations in the year 2027. Speaking during Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Nyayo National Stadium, President William Ruto said that plans are part of Kenya's Football Vision 2030, where Kenya also targets to see Harambee Stars play at the 2030 World Cup finals.
After the World Soccer Governing Body FIFA lifted the indefinite ban it had imposed on Kenya, the government now embarks on an ambitious plan to host the Africa Cup of Nations tournament in 2027 and also to take Harambee Stars to the World Cup finals in 2030. President William Ruto said in his Jamhuri Day speech that his government will fully support plans to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027 as part of Kenya's Football Vision 2030.
This is the first step in our Football Vision 2030, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Together, let us build Kenyan football from the grassroots of our villages to the grand stage of the World Cup.
He said that arrangements are at an advanced stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament that will bring together under-19 teams from all the counties. The finals of the tournament shall be held during the Jamhuri Day celebrations.
I will champion a grassroots football development program that will see national government work with county governments to invest heavily in youth football. Arrangements are at an advanced stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament to be contested by under-19 teams from all 47 counties.
The finals of the tournament shall be held during the Jamhuri Day celebrations. He said the aim of the event is to form a formidable team that will act as a feeder to the national team Harambee Stars as Kenya targets to take part in the 2030 World Cup. This is the second time Kenya is bidding to host AFCON after bidding to host the 1996 Africa Cup of Nations, but the hosting rights were later handed to South Africa due to delayed preparations.
Chuma ya dosi ni chuma ya nguvu. Ikisimama kwa building, hakuna kitu baya ita happen kwa hiyo building.
Chuma ndio nyumba. Nyumba zetu zote tunatumianga chuma ya dosi.
Doshi Steel, chuma ya nguvu.
Feel the excitement. Relish every moment. Get 1.5 GB at 50 bob. Valid for 3 hours. Furahia futa. Dial *544 hash. Make Chaguo smarter na Airtel, the most affordable network.
Welcome back. Hashtag World Cup Eco KBC. Nefat Mboya is the winner of the 888 Bet Super 10 jackpot and will now travel to Qatar to watch the 2 World Cup semi-final matches courtesy of the company. Mboya emerged victorious after predicting and winning 7 of the 10 games on the jackpot. Meanwhile, United States of America is the latest country to arrive in Kenya ahead of the Mombasa Open Tongil Mudu International Martial Arts Championship set to kick off Friday all the way to Sunday of this week at the Aga Khan Academy Hall.
Speaking during a media briefing with the 888bet marketing manager, Nefat Mwaura said despite being the first time to predict the outcome of the matches, he remained positive that his predictions will be big.
Hii kitu nilikuwa natamani tu kuenda lakini sikuwa na namna. So nilikuwa nimejaribu side zingine kubet lakini sikufaulu. Venye tu nilijaribu 888bet ndio nimefaulu na sasa ndio naamini na furahia sana.
Mwaura added that it will be the first time to travel outside East Africa, and having been picked to travel and watch the semi-final matches, it will be an honor to watch Atlas Lions of Morocco take on defending champions France.
Kuna huyu Hakim, huyu wa Morocco, ningetamani tu nione akicheza na nikiweza at least hata tupigwe picha na yeye, nitafurahia sana.
Mwaura will be accompanied by his wife Husa Bosolo.
If you want to play with us, register on www.888bet.co.ke. We have lots of weekly cash prizes and other promos going on the website, and you can also stand a chance of being another lucky winner, like the way Nefat Mwaura and his +1.
Meanwhile, USA is the latest country to arrive in Kenya ahead of the Mombasa Open Tongil Mudu International Martial Arts Championship set to kick off on Friday to Sunday this week at the Aga Khan Academy Hall. According to Tongil Mudu Federation of Kenya President Clarence Mwakio, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Italy and the Commonwealth Dominican will make their debut at this year's championships. Host Kenya, Nigeria, Zambia, Burkina Faso, Republic of Congo, Ivory Coast, DR Congo, Central African Republic, and Angola have also confirmed participation, among other nations. Kenya's Team Jasiri will be out to retain the title it has won for the past 9 years. At last year's event held at the Aga Khan Academy, Kenya won 39 gold, 33 silver, and 52 bronze medals. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
On to hockey now. The national hockey men's team started their Africa Hockey Fives World Cup qualifier campaign on a losing note in Ismailia, that's in Egypt. The team slumped to a 4-2 loss to Nigeria in their opener, then lost 6-1 to hosts Egypt in their second game. The team was also penalized 3 points after arriving late, believe it or not, and missing a match against Zambia. Both ladies and men's teams are currently placed last in the log without points. Kenya men hope to salvage their situation tomorrow when they meet South Africa, while their female counterparts will play their first match of the tournament against Namibia. The top 3 teams from the tournament, which comes to an end Thursday of this week, will qualify for the 2024 Hockey Fives World Cup in Muscat, Oman. A bit of carring now. Former world champion Mickey Bastion and Peter Solberg will be the star attractions at next year's East African Safari Classic Rally, which will count as the 11th running of the prestigious historic event. Bastion, the revered back-to-back world rally champion in the 1988 and 1989 series, was among the special guests at the just concluded African Mini Classic Rally won by Dutchman Ramon Vos.
Mickey Bastion will be returning to the iconic Kenyan gravel as a race driver after a 32-year hiatus since retiring in the last 2 WRC safaris in Kenya in 1990 and 1991 due to engine problems and an accident respectively. Peter Solberg, on the other hand, will be back in the country for the World's Toughest Classic event after 2 decades since retiring from the 2003 WRC Safari Rally Kenya. His son Oliver was part of the star-studded Hyundai World Rally team in the last 2 WRC Safari Rally events in 2021 and 2022. Solberg Sr. debuted in the World Rally Championship in 1998 and finished runner-up to Marcus Gronholm in 2002, and then became the first Norwegian to win the Drivers' World title in 2003. Biasian came to prominence in the early 1980s, winning both the Italian and European Rally Championships in 1983, driving a Lancia 037. East African Safari Classic Rally chairman Joy Ghosh confirmed entries of the two legends, adding that their return will add the much-needed zest to the main Safari Classic event in 2023. Ghosh also confirmed the return of multiple Kenya motorcycle champion and retired rally driver Stephen Anthony, who piloted the Zero car at the Mini Classic alongside newly crowned navigator champion Tosif Khan. Dutch-Belgian crew of Raymond Vos and Stephen Pravot won the 2022 Mini Classic following the heavy 5-minute penalty handed to the top two drivers Baldev Chaga and Piers Dyking, who dipped to 13th and 14th respectively.
You don't have to be a Kenyan to win this rally. There is no advantage for being a Kenyan. Yeah, we have a person from Belgium who came and won. It just goes to show it's an equal playing field for everybody, and that's what we are trying to bring back.
And finally, before we let you go, England soccer team arrived home last evening after being defeated by France in the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup finals. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo has acknowledged that the biggest and most ambitious dream of his career has ended.
Portugal striker Cristiano Ronaldo said winning the World Cup for Portugal would have been his greatest achievement, despite him boasting of many accolades. Meanwhile, the FIFA World Cup Golden Boot in Qatar is up for grabs. French duo Kylian Mbappe and Olivier Giroud are on 5 and 4 goals respectively, while Argentine captain Lionel Messi has 4 goals on his name. In 2018 edition, England striker Harry Kane won the title after scoring 6 times. Elsewhere, England's soccer team arrived home last evening after being defeated by France in the quarter-finals of the 2022 World Cup finals. Captain Harry Kane said England would use their defeat by France to be mentally and physically stronger for the next challenge as they headed home for the World Cup in Qatar, with Harry Kane missing an 84th-minute penalty. Under Southgate, England reached the 2018 World Cup semi-finals and the Euro 2020 finals before their elimination by the defending champions France in Qatar.
Well. That's all we had for you on this Jamhuri Day. Embu will host the next 2023 Madaraka Day celebrations under the theme Universal Healthcare. On behalf of this dedicated Prime Edition team, I want to thank you so much for watching. From Nairobi, Kenya, good night. My name is Mboya. Bye-bye, and God bless you.